August 15th, 2025, 1300 hours, local time, Straits of Florida. 24 nautical miles northeast of Havana. The USS Porter DDG-78 cuts through the azure waters of the Florida Straits, her Aegis combat system scanning the horizon with mechanical precision. Commander Sarah Mitchell stands on the bridge, her weathered hands gripping the rail as she studies the tactical display. The morning sun casts long shadows across the destroyer's deck, where sailors move with practiced efficiency, despite the mounting tension. Intelligence reports had been flooding in for 72 hours, Cuban naval forces mobilizing in Havana Harbor, old Soviet-era missile boats, supposedly decommissioned decades ago, suddenly appearing on satellite imagery. The Porter's mission brief was clear: maintain freedom of navigation while monitoring Cuban military activity. But nothing about this deployment felt routine. Lieutenant Commander Jackson Torres approaches the bridge, his tablet displaying the latest sonar contacts. "Captain, we have multiple surface contacts bearing 270 degrees, range approximately 18 nautical miles." Mitchell raises her binoculars, scanning the western horizon where heat shimmer dances above the waves. "Classification? Working on it, ma'am. Signature suggests small craft, possibly patrol boats." The Porter's AN/SPY-1 radar array rotates steadily, its electronic beams probing the surrounding waters. In the Combat Information Center below, Petty Officer Martinez tracks the approaching contacts on his scope. The blips move in formation, their speed indicating military vessels rather than fishing boats. Bridge CIC. Contact Sierra 1 through Sierra 4, now confirmed as Cuban patrol craft. Range: 15 nautical miles and closing at 22 knots. Captain Mitchell feels the familiar tightness in her chest that precedes combat. She's commanded the Porter through 3 deployments, but never faced a potential confrontation with Soviet-era weapons. The Cuban boats maintain their heading, their aging diesel engines pushing them steadily toward the American destroyer. Through powerful optics, the Porter's crew can now make out the distinctive silhouettes of Osa-class missile boats. These are not museum pieces. Intelligence suggests they've been retrofitted with modern guidance systems. Each boat carries 4 P-15 Termit anti-ship missiles, weapons that sank Israeli vessels in 1967. General quarters. General quarters. This is not a drill. The ship's alarm echoes through steel corridors as sailors sprint to battle stations. In the missile magazine, technicians prepare standard SM-2 surface-to-air missiles. The Porter's Mark 45 5-inch gun swivels toward the approaching threat. Radar operator Seaman Williams watches his screen intently, counting radar pulses from the Cuban vessels. CIC reports active fire control radars from the contact group. The Cuban boats have switched on their square tie targeting systems. Commander Torres quickly calculates engagement parameters on his tactical display. "Captain, at current closure rate, they'll reach missile launch range in 12 minutes. The Porter's crew works with choreographed precision, their months of training evident in every movement. Chief Petty Officer Rodriguez directs damage control teams to their stations. All departments report ready for general quarters. Captain Mitchell opens the encrypted communication channel to Fleet Command. "Lightning Base, this is Warrior 7-8. Request immediate guidance on rules of engagement." Static crackles over the secure frequency as she awaits response. The Cuban missile boats continue their approach, now clearly visible through binoculars. Their green-gray hulls slice through moderate seas, white bow waves marking their progress. On the lead boat, Captain Roberto Valdez studies the American destroyer through his own optics. His crew of 23 sailors represents the Cuban Navy's most experienced missile boat personnel. The P-15 missiles in their launch tubes carry 540-kilogram warheads. Valdez knows these weapons can penetrate the Porter's aluminum superstructure with devastating effect. His orders from Havana were explicit: demonstrate Cuban sovereignty in territorial waters. But the American destroyer shows no signs of altering course. Radar operator, confirm target solution on the American ship. Target locked, Captain. Range 13,000 meters and closing. The Cuban boats spread into attack formation, their captains communicating over short-range radio. Years of Soviet training have prepared them for this moment. Each boat captain understands the tactical doctrine. Overwhelming firepower delivered simultaneously. Aboard the Porter, Lieutenant Sarah Chen monitors electronic warfare systems. Captain, detecting multiple fire control radars. They have us painted. The ship's ANSLQ-32 electronic countermeasures system hums to life. Chaff dispensers prepare to deploy clouds of metallic strips to confuse incoming missiles. Lightning Base, Warrior 7-8. Cuban vessels have locked fire control. Require immediate guidance. Fleet Command's response crackles through. Warrior 7-8, maintain position. Do not fire unless fired upon. Captain Mitchell acknowledges the order while watching the tactical display. Red symbols representing the Cuban boats continue their steady approach. Time to missile engagement range? 8 minutes, Captain. The Porter's crew maintains disciplined silence, each sailor focused on their assigned tasks. Gunner's Mate First Class Thompson loads the 5-inch gun with high explosive rounds. Fire Controlman Peterson aligns the ship's close-in weapon system for point defense. The tension on the bridge is palpable as officers monitor multiple threat vectors. Cuban Captain Valdez receives his final orders over encrypted radio. Maintain course and heading. Show resolve, but avoid first strike. His finger hovers near the missile launch authorization switch. The antiquated fire control system requires manual input for each target parameter. Weapons officer, prepare missiles for launch. Safety interlocks to armed. Red lights illuminate on the missile control panel as systems activate. The P-15 missile's gyroscopes spin up to operational speed. Captain, American destroyer is rotating her main gun toward us. Valdez observes the Porter's turret traversing to port, its barrel elevated for surface engagement. All boats, this is lead. Maintain formation. They are attempting intimidation. The 4 Cuban boats continue closing the gap, now within visual range of the Porter's crew. Through binoculars, American sailors can see Cuban personnel at their battle stations. Captain, range to lead contact, now 8 nautical miles. The Porter's Aegis system tracks each missile boat with lethal precision. Standard missiles stand ready in their vertical launch cells. The ship's sophisticated radar can guide multiple intercepts simultaneously. CIC Bridge. What's the status on our air cover? 2 FA-18 Super Hornets inbound from Key West. ETA 15 minutes. Captain Mitchell weighs her options as the clock continues counting down. International law permits transit through these waters, but Cuban boats suggest otherwise. Communications. Attempt contact on Channel 16. The radio operator adjusts frequency and begins transmission. Cuban vessels. This is United States Navy destroyer Porter. You are approaching a U.S. warship conducting lawful operations in international waters. Alter your course to avoid dangerous situation. Static fills the radio channel before a heavily accented voice responds. American warship, you are approaching Cuban territorial waters. Alter your course immediately or face consequences. The formal exchange masks the deadly seriousness of the confrontation. Captain Valdez maintains his aggressive heading, testing American resolve. His missile boats now enter the critical engagement zone. Weapon status report. All missiles armed and ready, Captain. Target solutions confirmed. The Cuban boat's fire control radars maintain steady locks on the Porter. Aboard the American destroyer, tension reaches fever pitch. Captain, contact bearing 275, range 6,000 yards. The Cuban boats are now close enough for visual identification of individual crew members. Petty Officer Williams reports multiple radar signatures from the missile boats. CIC shows all 4 contacts have active fire control solutions. Captain Mitchell faces the moment every naval officer trains for, but hopes never to experience. All stations, this is the captain. Stand by for possible missile attack. The Porter's defensive systems automatically prioritize threats. Aegis computers calculate intercept solutions for incoming weapons. Bridge CIC. Recommend immediate evasive maneuvers. Mitchell orders hard right rudder as the destroyer begins a defensive turn. The ship's 30,000-ton mass slowly responds to the helm. Cuban Captain Valdez watches the American destroyer's course change. They are turning away, possibly preparing to retreat. His executive officer disagrees. "Captain, this appears to be an attack approach." The tactical geometry becomes increasingly dangerous as ranges close. "All boats, prepare for coordinated missile launch on my command." The 4 Cuban boats adjust their formation for optimal firing positions. Years of Soviet tactical doctrine guide their movements. Aboard the Porter, Lieutenant Chen detects increasing electronic activity. "Captain, massive spike in enemy communications traffic. Multiple radars switching to attack frequencies." The ship's electronic warfare suite begins active jamming operations. Electromagnetic interference fills the spectrum as both sides prepare for combat. "Bridge, this is CIC. Recommend immediate launch of defensive missiles." Captain Mitchell hesitates, knowing that first shot will trigger full engagement. "Negative. Maintain defensive posture until hostile action confirmed." The Cuban boats reach their optimal firing position. Captain Valdez's finger rests on the red launch button. His crew watches tensely as targeting data flows across their displays. Range 4,000 meters. All missiles show ready status. The moment stretches endlessly as both sides hover on the brink. A single radio transmission or computer glitch could trigger catastrophe. The Porter's crew maintains their vigil, weapons trained on the approaching threat. Suddenly, mechanical alarms sound aboard the lead Cuban vessel. "Captain, missile guidance system malfunction on tube number 2. Valdez curses the aging Soviet equipment as technicians scramble to diagnose the problem. The malfunction cascades through the boat's electrical systems. Fire control radar is offline. Attempting emergency restart. This critical technical failure provides a momentary reprieve from disaster. Captain Mitchell observes the Cuban boat's sudden course change. They're falling out of formation. Something's wrong with the lead boat. The tactical situation shifts as the Cuban attack formation begins to dissolve. Without their leader's guidance, the remaining boats hesitate. "Captain, I'm detecting mechanical problems on multiple contacts." Years of deferred maintenance finally exact their toll on the aging fleet. The second Cuban boat reports hydraulic failure in its missile launch system. Engine problems plague the third vessel as it struggles to maintain speed. Only one missile boat remains fully operational. Captain Valdez fights to regain control of his deteriorating situation. Engineering, emergency power to fire control systems. His crew works frantically to restore combat capability. The Porter maintains her defensive turn, presenting the smallest possible target profile. Her advanced systems continue tracking all 4 Cuban vessels. Lightning Base, Warrior 7-8. Cuban formation appears to be experiencing mechanical difficulties. Fleet Command responds. Warrior 7-8, maintain current posture. Do not pursue. The Cuban boats begin retiring toward Havana, their mission compromised by equipment failures. Captain Valdez transmits his situation report through encrypted channels. Havana orders immediate withdrawal to avoid further embarrassment. The 4 boats turn southwest, their impressive approach ending in anticlimax. Captain Mitchell watches the withdrawal with mixed relief and concern. Secure from general quarters. Maintain heightened readiness. The Porter's crew slowly stands down from battle stations. Captain, Super Hornets are on station overhead. 2 FA-18 fighters circle high above, their presence ensuring no renewed threat. The confrontation ends without shots fired, but its implications resonate. Cuban naval forces have demonstrated surprising boldness in challenging American vessels. The aging Soviet weapons remain potentially lethal despite mechanical problems. Intelligence analysts will scrutinize every detail of the encounter. Both sides gained valuable insights into enemy capabilities and intentions. The Porter continues her patrol mission, vigilant for renewed contact. Captain Mitchell completes her after-action report as the sun begins its westward descent. The crystal-clear waters of the Florida Straits conceal the tension that gripped both crews. This bloodless confrontation raises questions about future Cuban intentions. The failed attack demonstrates both the ambition and limitations of the island nation's military. Modern American technology proved its worth against Cold War-era threats. But the encounter also revealed dangerous gaps in regional stability. The specter of renewed Cuban-American naval confrontation haunts policymakers. In Havana, military commanders analyze their boats' poor performance. Emergency maintenance schedules accelerate to prevent future failures. The Porter's sensors detected significant intelligence about Cuban naval capabilities. Fleet Command adjusts deployment patterns based on this new threat assessment. The brief standoff becomes a case study in crisis management and technological superiority. Both navies learned valuable lessons about the delicate balance of deterrence. The wider strategic implications remain unclear as tensions continue to simmer. The Cuban missile boat crisis of 2025 ends not with victory, but with a sobering reminder that maritime confrontations can escalate rapidly in the modern age.